Hello, welcome to DK Bowl Chat. I am so glad you're here. I'm working on a scrap piece of canvas that had a bird on it, and I don't know if you can still kind of see the bird back in the distance there, but it will disappear as I put things in. Today I'm going to put in some distant hills, and to do that I'm going to mix some burnt umber and ultramarine so I can show you. It's not in these exact proportions, but there's my ultramarine, which is a blue, and there's my burnt umber, and there's my titanium white. So what I'm going to do is put in a few little hills. And I am really glad you're here with me. This is great. So to mix, I'm going to scoot this over just to show you. To mix, I always take a little of each into the center. I try to leave reserve on both sides so that I can add one color or the other to make it the right color. So if I have too much of one, I can always grab more of it, more of the other, you know what I mean, to balance it out. So I go right between the two, and I always have the reserve of blue and brown left. So let's see what color we got here. I'm gonna mix a little white with it and see what we got. This is a nice brown, a light brown, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of the ultramarine to bring it into sort of a blue-gray color. There we go. Because distant mountains do not always look the color that they are up close. They look, to me, a lot of times they look kind of blue, sort of a blue gray color. So anyhow, doing that, and I'm going to add a little more white. There we go. Mixing in that white, and I'm just using the brush to do that. And I think I might use just a tiny bit more blue. I don't want to give a whole bunch of my white into the blue. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to use a little bit. There we go. A little bit more white. Yeah, and I can add more white into there too. I think I should, because it looks pretty gray. I mean, more blue, that's what I meant. I knew what I meant. There we go. A little bit of white. I think we're coming in pretty close to the color. Okay, so I'm going to take this color on this. This is a round brush. Let's get this out of the way and put the canvas back. And it's on a round brush, so I'm going to make the top of the hills as they are in the distance. And I want this line where it's meeting the sky to be sharper than, I don't want it to be too blurry. It doesn't have to be super sharp. And I definitely don't need texture because this is off in the distance. So I'm going to thin the paint down just a little bit and keep going. And you can just make up however you want with your mountains. It doesn't matter. These are gray mountains in the background. I think I intended on it being a little bit bluer than that. It's an optical illusion. So I'm going to go over it with a little, I added a little bit more ultramarine to it. I'm going to go over it with a little bit of that and make it more blue. Meanwhile, they're growing too. They're getting taller as I'm painting the blue on there. That's fine. It's kind of, I'm going to work with what happens here. There we go. Quick bump on the canvas. And my cat is on the table. Yes, he is, and he better be good. Right now he's sitting on the computer, which is closed, thank God. It's all good. He's not on the keyboard making me send an email I didn't want to send. All right, so I've got the hill. And now what I need to do, because these are supposed to be hills, I need to give the illusion that they are hills. And in order to do that, I have to paint the direction that they are. So I've got them in, and I will go ahead and do that. So you're going to paint the direction that that hill is going to go. So this one's going to come down in front. This one's now in front of the other one. I just made that so. And then in the front it comes straight down. And same thing over here. This is going to just be, we're going to make sure it's the direction that the mountain is, either towards the center, like here, or to the side. And that helps tremendously. So I don't need it to be perfectly detailed, but what I'm going to do, I think that's pretty much good right there. Make sure I have it all not too watery. There we go. It had a lot of water in the paint. And then I'm gonna blend the bottom out with a 1-inch brush. So I'm rinsing off this brush, and I'm just gonna take a dry 1-inch brush and blend out the bottom. Oh, there goes that brush. That's okay. I'll just blend it out. There we go. And I don't know, do you know what I'm talking about? Like when there's a mist on the base of the mountain, there's a mist, and that's what we're going for here. So I'm gonna grab that brown brush again, the one that just fell on the floor. That's fine. It was clean, so that's good. All right, so I'm just gonna blend that line because that line's really hard and I don't want it to be hard. And I'm probably gonna come up to where you can still see this maybe. I could come all the way over it and like come up past it and it'll be fine. There we go, I got that line wet, so it's gonna move now. And I'm gonna take a tiny fan brush right here and blend it out. There we go. I'm just going in little circles, kind of like I do with clouds. Just little circles. We're going for the effect of sort of a mist at the base of this mountain. Okay, that's pretty good. And I'm just gonna turn it sideways and blend that line that it's on. Now I wanna be really careful. So you know what, I'm gonna turn it the other way and come in from the top of it. So yes, it is sideways, I get that, but I'm just gonna come in from the top and blend this line a bit so that it's not so drastically a hard line. It's off in the distance, and you know, our vision, well, I don't know about your vision, but I know for mine, it's not that detailed. Like I couldn't see somebody on that mountain waving at me because it's supposed to be sort of blended, not blended, but I'm sorry, I'm blending as I'm saying this, but it's supposed to be sort of out of focus. There we go. And I'm just blending that line a little bit so it's not so harsh. Other times I've left it completely harsh. I'm not worried about it. And that worked out too. There we go. Typically I wear gloves, but this is just a short video that I'm gonna put in this mountain, and then we'll do the next step later. I have currently, this is the third painting I'm working on. So I have 2 other ones that are oil paintings. This is acrylic. Yeah, so get that line in there. Bring back my sky. So anything I do today can be moved around with water because it's not dry. The stuff that I did earlier, it's dry, so it will not move. I mean, unless I really was aggressive with it, it's not gonna move. Acrylic paint dries like plastic. But it is a high quality medium. There we go. I'm just moving that line. There we go. I'm so glad you joined me today. Yeah. And I hope you will join me on the next video, which will be, I think I'm doing them on Mondays and Fridays. So it'll be, since this is going to be going on Monday, the next one will be on Friday. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to this channel. I'm diligently working at hopefully someday monetizing. That would be great. I'm picking up excess water right above that mountain. Q-tips are great. Q-tips are the best erasers for paint. And I don't know why I wasn't taught them, but I figured them out. Let's make a squeaky noise. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, I'm gonna call it good and stop. So far we have the sky, clouds, and mountains. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel, and God bless you.